Hello and welcome to Chief Architect Workshop. I was drawing a roof plan for a small shopping center, and I thought this would be a good opportunity to demonstrate some of the abilities of Chief Architect in CAD mode, and so you could quickly take advantage of the CAD functions, which have gotten so much better over the years. So here we are, roof plan set, which we moved all the roofs up to the second floor level 2, and we turned on three-dimensional items, which were the scuppers. Those were created in using roof planes and snapping them together, etc. The octagon was created the same way. And here, when I turned on the roof plan, we'll notice that the gutter line is drawn. And so what we really have to do, since we do not want to use a gutter, is hit our Shift key, connect all our roof planes, select all our roof planes, hit our box here, and I'm working on two screens. Let me drag that over, and we'll change that from options to get rid of our gutter, and it'll get rid of the gutter on all the sections, and the water now splashes just off. It's just a little bit that comes off there. I'm not that concerned about it in terms of bonking anyone on the head. It's just a little roofy thing, and it's up there, no big deal. However, we are concerned as how do we get the water off the main roof. So let's work on that. Let's turn on a reference display, which is that, which shows the first floor. Let's see the windows down below, bathrooms, etc. So what we want to do is I noticed that the Scupper Box, which is a three-dimensional object, is sitting here. We really want to snap it against the wall. I don't want it floating out there. This line looks like a terrain line that is displaying. Terrain feature line that's displaying in the reference layer, and the blue line means that things are all lined up. That's how we can check that all things are lined up from the first floor to the second floor. But our goal today is to, how the heck do we drain this darn thing? Got a downspout here. I might scoot that over to here. I don't know why I put it there. Really should be right about here. Yeah, that'd be a better place for it, because what we'd like to do is I was just lining up with this guy here, because the geometry is such that maybe does that make sense? What we want to do is we want to create a high point. The trusses will be spanning from this outside wall to this wall here on the lower floor. We're going to have some wood trusses that go this way, and we can create and ask the truss manufacturer to create a high point. So we can drain the water there, and then use some crickets, carpenter-built crickets, to get it to our scupper boxes. And so this is what I think is important in Chief Architect. It's not just learning anything and learning how to draw. It's not just how to draw the lines. It's what is really going on to build a building is foremost, and then how to communicate that is what Chief Architect does. And the two are not unrelated. You have to understand how the building comes together in order to communicate it. So we would like to teach that. How do we drain a shopping center? So this is how we do it, and then it affects how we create the roof plan. A lot of shopping centers, everything goes to the inside. We have roof drains. I really don't want to put anything inside. I don't want to worry about column lines or stuff. So I want the tenants to do whatever they want to do. And it also looks a lot nicer with the scupper box to the outside. And if you have a leak inside, you're carrying the water inside, and all of a sudden the water's inside the building. But many commercial buildings have interior roof drains, and they're fine until they leak. But they shouldn't. So I think it's always best, if you can, to get the water to go to the outside. If you've been involved in construction, you know that water is your enemy. And you've gotten the phone calls on a Saturday night when you're out to dinner and saying, there's water in my building. What can you do about it? And so water is your enemy. And you want to make sure you take care of it. Okay, we're just doing this in real time and trying to figure it out. Typically, I might print it out and sketch it and try different things, but for demonstration purposes, I'll just do this in real time. So this video might take a little longer than it should, but it demonstrates Chief in real time. Okay, let's figure this out. Right now, we've got a downspout that's going into the trash area. This downspout has to be here in the corner because it's going to be in the way of the awning. So we've got to get the water down into this corner. This was just done for symmetry. We can scoot that anywhere. I think for our purposes, we really want to, what we really want to do is create the high point for the truss. Keep everything simple. So our truss is going to span from this to this. So we'll draw a line there. And that's the length of the truss. And we snapped it. See the snapping tools, Chief's snapping tools saying, yeah, you're here, buddy. And now we'll draw another line. And it should find the midpoint. That triangle's the midpoint. So that's the high point. That's the high point. So see, without dimensioning, we've gotten the high point just using the snapping tools. So there's our ridge that would be created with our truss. And bearing wall. Might be a hair off, like where this line is. Let's see. Nah, it's right there. It's cool. So now that's just a little guideline. Now that we've used it, we can delete it. Just like drafting in old two-dimensional drafting. On the second screen, sometimes you have to select it twice because it can't find it. So now we have our high point for our truss. And if that's our high point, then we probably do want to get that guy there. Oh, or maybe not, or maybe we don't want anything here. Maybe we don't need, I might need another scupper here because to drain that guy. We don't want to put everything down to here. Maybe we should put a scupper in the corner here. Only problem is that might put a scupper box. I don't think that's what we're going to have to do. It doesn't make any sense here because this is high point, slope, high point, slope. So this is not good. Let's take a quick peek at the building. Do I have one here? Yes, I do. So you can see what the heck this is. This is our building. Let's go to take our rotation tool. It's the rear of the building. There they are queuing up, and we've got a nice wood floor in the trash area, which we really should change to like a slab. Let's change that. Just for grins, bring over the dialog box from the other screen. And really, let's just call this a, what do we want to call it? A garage, an open air garage. And that'll put a slab down there. A gray slab, garage slab there. And that's more appropriate. Yeah, except to put a roof on it. Did it put a roof on it? Jesus. We don't want a room label. And it's no roof, no ceiling, for God's sakes. Jeez. All right, there. That's better. Now it's a trash area. All right. There's our curb and gutter. And there's our scupper box coming down there, but we just discovered that our high point, it makes no sense to try to drain it to this. We want to be down here somewhere. So what does that look like when we go around the building? We're going to have a downspout right here, right where people are congregating. I'm not that happy about, because you can pull up the drive-through window and say, "Do you mind if I tear off your downspout while I get my coffee?" So really, we want that downspout right in this corner. Direct the water over to this corner. We'll use a cricket to get it here. And that's what we want to do. And what's nice about Chief is you can think in 3D and you can see it in 3D and make decisions in 3D. It's a nice deal. See if things work, don't work. There's our scupper boxes for the other little place. I got to remind the landscape architect we want to throw a little green in there besides the planter boxes. So he knows. I'll go over that with him. Oh, those lights are okay at that height. Yeah. But we digress. Roof. We know where we want to put the scupper box, so let's go back there. We are going to put that scupper box. We're going to slide this puppy all the way down to here. And, we're going to get down to the corner. And there's our 12-inch. Let's tab over to that. Control C. That's our 12-inch hole in the wall. And we'll just put it right at the end there. We need a little bit of room because this is going boom. Yeah. Let's put it right at the end there. Control V. Bonk. There's our little hole. Pop it there. Pop this guy here. There's our little scupper box there. These are all three-dimensional objects, so they'll move. And let's go down to the first floor. See if that scupper. Where's this guy? Let's go back to our camera here. This poor little fellow. We want to scoot him across. And what layer is he on? So let's go check what layer he's on. Oh man, 2 screens. You got to drag the darn thing over. I think the layer CAD default. All right, he's on CAD default. So we're going to have to go down to layer 1. Instead of roof plan set, let's turn our plan view set, I believe, is where he's at. Yeah, let's not use that set. Let's use default, see if he's there. There he is. He's in the default set. All sorts of lines are happening there. Poor guy's not up against the building, but it's okay. And let's get a reference display up above. If we can, or no, we do, or we are showing reference. We need to know where that scupper box is. And I'm not really liking the way that's working. Where's that scupper box? It's not showing in the default set. Let's go back up there. What is this? What is that? That is line style. He's in CAD framing. That's right, CAD framing. So we really want to put CAD framing in our reference display so we know where that goes. Or we can just go to the elevation sheet and scoot that over. So let's bring up this elevation. So it's nice and flat. Then we just we'll just slide it over an elevation. Hey, hello, where's my elevation? Talk to me. There he is. There they are. Scooch on over there. See our signs. Curious what some of these extraneous lines are, but we'll worry about that later. There's our Scupper Box. We're just going to slide this guy right there. Yeah, that's close enough for the girls I used to know. There, that actually looks better. Not going in the middle of the trash area. It's not going to be blocked by the cars as they come through. Okay. All that for a roof plan. See how it affects all the other stuff, all the other decisions that you have to make. It's not just figuring out what lines, how to draw a couple lines. It's problem solving. I need 2 rooftop units up there, but okay, let's go back to our roof plan set. And we're on the 2nd floor. And now we've got our Scupper Box, and now there he is. There's that guy. Later on we might scoot that a little closer, but on the 1st floor, but that's fine for now. It's going for a lot. All right, high point, nice and simple. And now we really need to, that's just going down to there, but we want to direct it to there, which it will get to if we're going to have a cricket. We're going to build a cricket up to direct it to there. Okay, so we're going to need a cricket there. So let's see how we're going to build that cricket. All right, now we want the water to come up. It's coming up, and we're going to have a high point in the middle this way. Let's get a high point in the middle this way, or we can even, just to keep it simple, put the high point on the high point of that guy there. Alright, which is right there. Keep it simple. And let's get a Scupper Box indication, a hole indication. So I'll grab that guy there, tab over to it. Hello, missed it. Tab. Control C. Come over here. Pop it in there. Control V. We could scoot this down here if we have to. Let's see, because this is coming down. Bonk. Yeah, no, that's okay. Bonk. And then we're going to need just a little. Yeah, it's fine. Very scientific geometry talk there. We can just zoom in if we really want to. And we could use point to point and get it out there, but if you zoom in, you can pretty much just visually align stuff, except that was not happening right there. So let's just use a little point to point thing. And we'll point it there, and we'll point it there, and now it lines up nicely. And you can see that that's in the center of the circle. It's our hole in the roof. And so we locate it there. Now we've got this thing coming down here. But then the water gets trapped into this corner. We don't want it trapped in this corner. So we're going to need to build a little cricket from there to the wall edge. like that. So the water goes bonk into the downspout from this high point. Now it's going around the horn, bonk, right there. And we're going to have to get it around. Now it's going down here, dying into this wall. So we got to direct that water that way. So we're going to need a cricket from there and there. And that cricket is going, directing the water this way. So that's where we're going to need our little arrows. Yeah, maybe we should start putting some arrows. Maybe we should just make our own arrow. There's an arrow, or we could, when we make an arrow, we could just use a leader line and not, all right, it's fine. I don't think we have any text here. There's a little arrow. See how it kind of goes there. It's saying we're going this way. I don't know if I like those arrows, but whatever. It's fine. Does the job. The water's this way. The water's going that way. We can use another arrow here. And actually, now that I got an arrow, I just copy it. Control C, Control V, and then rotate it to where I want it. Do something with it. Kind of a small arrow, but whatever. Control, slide it into place there. So there's a high point. Water going this way. This way the water just traveling along this geometry. It's not getting trapped there. Here it is. And then going around to the horn there. So we may not even need the scupper. Yeah, we might not even need the scupper because we're getting rid of the water there. This is coming here, and we'll just bring it over around to this one. Or we might have a double scupper. Or we might have a double scupper. You can see here, this is the high point. We don't need that scupper box there. Because this roof is working good. I'm digging how we're draining this thing. Almost got this thing solved. Now we don't need the scupper box. And if we put a double scupper box, let's put a double scupper box. That'll be a specialty box. And we're just going to move this guy there. And we'll just come down this same guy. We'll just hook it up there. We're just going to do a double scupper box. Rotate this guy. Come here, and that box will be there. So it'll be this funky corner box. And Chief is automatically saying, you can't put that thing there. You want it, snap it there. So I'm not going to fight it. I'm just going to go move point to point right there. Well, if you insist, but I missed that point. Let's go to there. So there's our scupper box. Not worried about that extra line. Minimal. That's how we're going to drain this guy. So we get rid of this guy. We don't need this downspout here. Unless we did put a gutter on this thing when the high roof, and then slowly sloped it all the way around to there, except by the time we got around here, it looked really screwy with that sloped gutters there. So we're going to get rid of this guy. And now we need a hole to drain that water in. So let's tab over, tab, Control C, Control V. Let's put the hole in the parapet wall. There's our hole. There's our hole indication, and it should be somewhere like that's good. right there. And now we got a hole there, we got a hole there. Now we're going to drain the water this way. And we find this line there, snap to it there. There's our cricket high point. This water's going bum, bum, going around the corner of that scupper. And now we want to take it from here and use our control to stop it from snapping to some inch points. There, we're going to want a high point in our cricket. So we'll draw it from there to there. There's our high point for our cricket. Borrow this arrow, Control C, Control V. Rotate it around. Let's see. There we go. There. Control C, Control V. Well, we could also do some other stuff to make it simple, but let's just Control there. Showing the water flow, high point, zoop. Everything's happy. Down to that scupper. Okay, down to that scupper, down to that scupper. All right, so pretty, this is getting to be a fairly sophisticated thing. Now we got water coming down here, and it's traveling down there, finding in here and getting out there. But here it's going bonk and getting trapped there. We want it to go around the horn, don't we? Or you might want to do this double scupper box, which would be better than trying to get around, because this is the low point there. It's got to get around here. We're going to bid that up there. It's not a good thing. We're going to have a double scupper on that corner too. So let's do it. Control C. Oh, okay, sorry. I did something I shouldn't have. Control C. And come over here. Control V. Scupper box in the corner. It's got a little different line quality to it for some reason. Yeah, it's just because we selected it. So now we're going to get that there. Now we're going to want a hole in the parapet wall. Tab. Control C, Control V. Hole in the parapet wall. Got a little hole in the parapet wall indication. And we're just snap it right there so it finds our and now the water's gone, getting trapped there. The thing I'm not happy about is what happens to this water here. We're going to need a little teeny tiny little something here. We got to get that water out of there. So now the water is there, goes there. Control, snap to that line there. All right, now I'm sure we got that draining pretty good. Okay, this is how we do it. This is a low point. And that's the low point. Now what we're going to have to do is extend this. Extend this line over here. This will be the hello. Extend this line over to here and get this water to drain to here so that we're going to build this cricket up and around this corner so it goes around and finds this. Trust me on this. Okay, we're going like that, and let's go there. It's funny that way. Now this is going, and we're gonna have to build another cricket because this is going high point this way. So we got to get it to find these downspouts. So we're gonna have to find a cricket at the midpoint here. All right, which, believe it or not, that's there. Draw a line there. Draw a line there. Draw a line there. Midpoint is that guy there, so there's our midpoint between those two. Now what's cool about this is we can just snap it to there and snap it to there. There's our cricket. Water's coming down here. Broop, broop. Getting drained that way. We're going to have to build some sort of, actually there's going to have to be some funky cricket thingamajibber here. We're going to have some sort of water problem here. This is going down, 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 down. We're going to have to build another little high cricket. We're going to have to do this out in the field to make sure this all works properly. So we're just going to have to build another high cricket there. Like that there. And that there. And we're going to get that thing to go. Boop, boop, boop. Got it? Ay, ay, ay. And it's going to be just field built with some tapered insulation. This is all these crickets will be built. The crickets are built with tapered insulation. I'm going to taper the insulation. Yeah, it's a long ways to taper. Be a lot of insulation. But at least it's better than all this will do is sloped. There's that. We have the same, even if we did interior roof drains, we have to figure out how the heck this geometry drains, and you'd have all sorts of monkey business as well. So there. Let's get this guy to this guy. We're going to have to have the same thing there. Line there. You want it to that. Now that water gets to that hole. And now this is draining down there. We got to do the same thing. We got to find a high point. That guy there. That guy there. And off that corner we do a little high point. And control and snap to there. So that's just going very sophisticated. All right, let's get our little arrows. When I started this, I had no idea that that's Control C, Control V, how we'd solve it, but we're solving it. There we go. Water going that way. And let's go there. Control C, Control V. Let's show the people that the water is going this way. Going this way. And Control C, Control V. This way. There we go. We got a roof plan, people. And it's making sense. And we're just using the chiefer to help us. And obviously we're going to just have to do the same thing here. We'll do a little chiefer trick here. What we can do is we go that, shift, that, copy and paste in place, click to make a copy of this in its current location. So we click it, and we make a copy, then we're going to mirror it around an object. And the object would be this high point. And now, Means that high point is not, if that's the mirror, that's really not the high point then. Alright, well, I'm not going to fret too much about that. And my point needs to slide down. But so let's shift, and okay, that's cool. Straighten it is. It's not a component. There. So there's a cricket on that side. High point there. And now, since these should be the same, let's go shift, select, Control C, Control V. Just paste it into place there. And now let's just use our point to point to move it from this point to that point for the cricket, and it should, but it isn't. All right. Oh, because these are just a different stuff here. What we'll do is then slide this cricket down to the halfway point. But there, and the I'll figure this out with the carpenter, how to make these crickets. This little plywood, I think this is going to be our insulated panel. We'll slide down, and the crickets will be built on top of the insulated panel in the field. So we can make these little adjustments as needed without having to worry about a shop drawing for the insulated panel. Yeah, I think we'll just make these out of plywood. And that's just going to be insulated panels going from high to low. Insulated panel, high to low. Insulated panel, high to low. Yeah, let's do our little arrow doohickey. Control C, Control V. Bunk. Hi. The HVAC engineer, MEP engineer, mechanical, electrical, plumbing engineer says, give me a roof plan. Control V. I said, no problem. I'll whip one out for you. It's taken a little bit longer. We're already at 38 minutes, which is like ungodly long. But I think you get the idea. We'll do the same thing we did over there, over here. And I'm going to pause this and show you the finished product when it's done, because this video is taking forever. Okay, we are going to do some editing because this is looking a little too funky. What I've decided while we were paused was to get rid of this. Just have one scupper, and which means we don't need this hole here. And what we're going to do is actually slope this all the way to there. And we don't need all these little, edit undo. All right, we don't to grab this line, go to there, go to there, go to there. We can just take this stuff here, move it to the corner here, and basically get everything this way to this scupper. The water will go there, come here, and go into that. Much easier than previous. And so we'll do the same thing over here. Instead of all this monkey business with the double whatchamacallit and the thingamajob here, let's get rid of this thingamajob. Mr. Genius. Not so much. we'll go to this scupper. This we're going to bring over to here. And now we got that roof drained with one scupper, one hole in the wall instead of two holes in the wall. Tab over, delete that. Much better. Okay, we've made a few adjustments. Just shorten that up a little bit. Instead of going to the peak, we just want to build a little bit of an overframe, as that is just coming down the parapet wall, and then we direct it around the horn there. That's the low spot. So we will drop these trusses a hair lower than this in order to make sure that that water gets around the horn there. Same thing on this one. So these trusses will be dropped, even just 3 inches lower, and it'll give us the pitch to go down in there. And that's all we got to do. And then here this is kind of in order to drain this stuff. Water's climbing along that wall, hits here, and we really need to redirect it this way. Same thing here. Coming down, hits that corner. Instead of getting trapped, we want to redirect it to the scupper. It looks easy, but it took a little bit of sketching around to figure out how it really works. High point of the truss. So we'll have the truss manufacturer create a truss with a high point here, low point here, and this truss will be maybe only need 2 inches lower in order to create that little bit of a slope to get to the scupper box there. And that should do the job.